week 4 of prep now. I lose count a lot of the time. But we're coming down at a nice rate. So far it's been like sort of a kilo a week, which, to be honest with you, I hope it continues at that rate. I was a little bit anxious starting off just because of how heavy I was, but then speaking to my coach and going back and forth, we realised that I'm probably just going to be heavier on stage this year. Like, I have built that little bit more muscle. Obviously there's a cap to how much you can do that as a natural, but this has been my first like proper structured off season, in the sense that I've just been absolutely on the ball with it, so I would expect to see some good results. But so far, change wise, we've made a little change to expenditure. I'm actually doing quite a lot now in terms of expenditure. So cardio is now up to 6 times 25 minutes a week. And food wise, we've come down, so training day calories are around 3,200, and then non-training day it's just a little over 3,000. So I'm going to tuck into meal 1. This meal hasn't changed for me since 2021. I don't know if you can see that, guys, but it's basically just eggs, 3 eggs, 2 bacon medallions, and then I used to have a bagel with this, but I found that I got some digestive issues off the bagel, so switched that for sourdough, and it sits a lot better. And this was one of my favourite meals during prep. So as you're further into prep, as the sort of bagel or the bread gets taken out, it gets a little bit sad, but I still love having like the eggs and like the bacon medallions first time. Like, it's just one I was always looking forward to during prep. So gonna get stuck into here. Thought go over my vitamins and minerals. Like, I don't really take that much in terms of supplements. So I basically, first thing in the morning, vitamin D3. Hopefully that focuses. Vitamin D3, omega-3, like a decent omega-3. And then I take these like multivits and mineral caps. I think I got these off like, what's it called? Supplement Needs, or is that the website? I'm forgetting now. It was either like one of these online supplement places. And normally I take a probiotic, but I am running out, and that's it really. Like, in terms of the research, I did a whole podcast episode with this with Andy Chappelle, who has a PhD in nutrition, and in terms of like supplement wise, like a lot of them they're not really worth the money. So that's what I take. I take creatine as well, and currently taking Yihimbine first time. So I'll take my Yihimbine fasted before I do my cardio. Again, there's not really any benefits to doing cardio fasted, other than I just like to get up and get it done first thing in the morning. It gives me some steps as well, walking to the gym. But there is a little bit of research on Yihimbine. It's not going to be your make or break. Your most important thing when it comes to that deficit is your food intake, your expenditure output. So I'm going to get stuck into this before it gets cold, but I will catch you later on. So guys, going through a voiceover of the first push day of week 4, and unfortunately I forgot to record a lot of the movements today, or they didn't record, annoyingly. So these are the movements I've got. I've got this high incline press. Now, I've been running this Smith machine press for quite a while now, and you can see this is a very heavy set. I'm going to have to reduce the load. I actually had this conversation after the session with my coach. You can see I get 5, but it's a real grinder towards the end. So going into next week, I will sort of reduce the load but still keep the intensity and go for more reps. And you can see that's a very shaky last rep. Arguably my wrists weren't in the best position in that movement either. This is my second press. Actually, I've switched this as of recent. We were doing a cable stack flat press, but then moved it onto here as we weren't getting any more progression. So onto this sort of iso press. Really nice movement. And again, this is a little bit shaky. I think this is the first session of this prep. He normally pushes first to go, where I am going to have to reevaluate, drop some of the load, but still keep the intensity. So either increase the reps and just kind of drop the load a touch. But still we managed to get that final rep, a bit of a grinder, but it gets up in the end. Moving on, this was the shoulder press of the day. This is the only shoulder press machine I like at my gym. It seems to be the smoothest, and all the other ones just feel awkward in terms of sort of hand placement. So this one works pretty well for me. This moves smoother than actually my chest presses, which is unusual. Normally my shoulder presses are first to go. And we do grind out the reps. I think this is a rep match from the week before. You can see here, just don't quite get that rep. And then I did manage to film my lateral raise movement of this day. I do start this with a single arm cable cuff lateral raise, and then this is later on in the session. But this is feeling really good, this machine. My focus here is basically to go to complete and utter failure on this one. So my target is focusing on driving the elbows out, big squeeze at the top, a little bit quicker in this final set because I'm just trying to get that sort of metabolic or tap into that metabolic stress aspect, just getting loads of blood into my side delts. And then I will fail and do this as a rest pause. And what I've been tending to do is add some partials, like completely rinse the delts. This is what I've done throughout my off season, just to bring up the side delts. That was an area I needed to bring up, and it seems to have worked. Definitely a lot of progress across my whole shoulders, and as you can see here, just going absolutely ham and getting those last few ones. Big gel in the background, doing some leg raises or something. But yeah, go to complete failure there, and that's it. That's all recorded. Hi guys, so that's it for today's vlog. If you have any questions, please do fire me a message or drop a comment below. And next episode, I'm going to probably be sort of about week 6 to 7. I'm going to try and get these videos out a little bit more frequently. But currently, obviously, some small changes have been made. I'm not feeling hungry. I'm not feeling the effects of prep. And that should be the same for you guys if you're going in a prep. The first sort of 5 to 10 weeks, you shouldn't be feeling any of those effects. It should be pretty smooth sailing. Your main focus at the beginning of prep is to keep your strength up and keep moving things up as long as you can, because at some point it is going to drop off, but you do need to keep the intensity there and try and keep your strength throughout. Otherwise you're going to lose muscle quite quickly. So that is your goal. If you are dropping off too quickly, then you probably are making changes a little bit too frequently to begin with. So you are going to have to reevaluate and think about your timeline as well. Like, I have 19 weeks to my first show. That's a reasonable timeline. If you've only given yourself 12 weeks, yeah, you might need to go a bit more aggressively, but is that going to be the best outcome? Are you really in the best place to compete if you've only given yourself that amount of time? So that is something I wanted to mention, which is really important, is the time frame. I'll probably be prepping in total for about 25, 26 weeks. I did draw a little graph because this is kind of what happened to me last time. So it's very scientific, but along the bottom axis, we've got time of prep, and then we've got sort of fatigue accumulation. So your fatigue is basically going to go up and up, or this is the cumulative fatigue. So not taking into account sort of, dropping off fatigue for a peak week or whatnot, or diet breaks, but it's kind of building up throughout the prep, and then we get to a peak. And what happens with the look as well is it gets better. You get this initial drop because you lose that fullness from your off season, and then it kind of improves as you get a bit leaner, and then you're going to almost reach a peak look as well. So we'll get to a point where you
you're not really going to improve the look. You might improve it slightly by just bringing that final detail, but then eventually, as you maybe lose more weight, you could lose some of that fullness, and fatigue might accumulate to a point, which happened to me towards the end of my last prep of 30 weeks, and the look actually kind of worsened into that last show. So it's just about hitting it right, hitting that sweet spot. My first show is going to be about here, 20 weeks out. No doubt it will improve as we go into some of the later shows. But the goal is obviously to bring a pretty fresh look to that first one. So I thought I'd go over that as well. But thanks for watching once again, guys. Comment, like, subscribe, and if you've got questions, fire them away. You can follow me on Instagram and send me a message there. But see you all in the next one.